Alright, so we're asked to solve x squared minus x minus 12 greater than 0. Leslie, how did you solve the quadratic first? Okay, let's talk about the different ways that you can solve quadratics. What are some different ways that we can solve it? Okay, raise your hand if you use the quadratic formula. You could, and it'll always work, right? Leslie, tell us the quadratic formula. Thank you. Brenda, using the quadratic formula, let's go ahead and substitute. Thank you. Jasmine, continue. And all this. Positive 48. All over 2. Keep going for us, Royce. Royce, what's the square root of 49? Class 1 plus 7. 8 divided by 2 is? 1 minus 7 is? Negative 6 divided by 2 is? Negative. Raise your hand if you got 4 and negative 3. Now, some of you raise your hand if you did it by factoring. I would have taken a shot at factoring, and did it work? Yes. Was it factorable? Yeah. I will say this. Okay. Now, let's give ourselves a quick graph. With our straight edge, let's draw a graph. Alright, here's some clues that you should. Let's go ahead now and graph this. This is the only new part so far, is graphing it. So as I graph it, we just solve for the x-intercepts. So I have negative 3 and 4. Now pay attention. 4 is an open circle. Put your finger on why it's an open circle. You should have your finger here. Now we've kind of already graphed these before, right? Now what we're going to do is anything to the power of 2, the graph is a Everyone say parabola. it opens up because your a value is positive. So my graph's going to have an open U, okay? My c value is what value? My c value is negative 12. And that's actually going to become my y-intercept. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now the common mistake is to think that this is the lowest point. They think the parabola will stop right there. But that's not the case, because if you can see, this is 3 and this is 4. So it's actually not, the midpoint would probably be something like around here. Okay? Now if I sketch a graph, a parabola is what letter of the alphabet, class? Everyone say U. The mistake last year is students put V's and I had to mark them wrong. How do you know when it's a U or a V? Well, a parabola to the power of 2 is a U, and your graphing calculator will verify that. Let's use our graphing calculator to its fullest potential. Now we're going to go back to something we did before. It's called test points. Everyone say test points? I need to figure out where it's true and it's false. So I have something in between. I'm always going to pick the number 0. I'm going to pick a number just outside of it, to the right, and one number to the left. And these will kind of tell us our test points. So on my calculator, I'm going to go to y equals and press clear. And I'm going to ignore the greater sign, and I'm just going to type in x squared subtracted by x minus 12. I'm going to press zoom. Class, what are you pressing? And what number? 6. Now notice how the graph is not complete. Class, what axis is this? And the lowest number on your graph is what? Everyone say negative 10. When you press zoom 6, it makes it a negative 10, positive 10, negative 10, positive 10. So our graph is not long enough. So everyone say window. We need to go further down. Well, I already know that the answer is negative 12. So let's put in negative 15 for our y minimum. You are pressing the negative button. And I'm pressing 15 there. So I went to window. I'm changing the y minimum so that the parabola can be seen fully. So press graph. Okay, now we have a parabola. You can see it's a U, not a V. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my calculator to help us figure out the test points. So in order to do that, I'm going to press second window. What command, class? I don't care if, what the table start is. I don't care what the delta is. I do care that it's on ask and then auto. The calculator is going to ask us for a number, which we'll give it, and then it'll automatically calculate the dependent. Make sure those are highlighted. And now I'm going to go to the table. The table in my calculator is yellow, so we're going to have to press second graph. Everyone say that? Now it's given me a table, but the table is, yours might be blank, mine has a couple of numbers. So I'm going to type in 0 and press enter. What did it get, class? Negative 12. What did the calculator do? It took 0 and put it in here. 0 plus 3 is 3. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Class, is negative 12 bigger than 0? So that is false. That means everything inside here is going to be false. Let's test another point, 5. Put 5 into your calculator. You can also press clear or delete to get a number off and press enter. Raise your hand if you got 8. What the calculator is doing is doing the simple calculations for you. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 1. 8 times 1 is 8. Class, is 8 bigger than 0? True or false? That means over here in this region, everything to the right is going to be a solution. Let's test negative 4. Remember, you're pressing the negative sign at the bottom of your calculator here, not the subtraction sign. Press enter. You should have gotten 8. So again, what the calculator is doing is negative 4 plus 3, negative 4 minus 8, and we know that the answer is 8. Class, is 8 bigger than 0? So this region is a true. So let's review. This is false, true, and true. Now, previously we just drew arrows going left and right. Are you guys following that? Do you guys remember what that symbol means in our celebrity story? Do you guys remember that? If your love interest in someone else is greater than, what do? You break up with the person you're with. Breaking up is the word what? And or? Or. So our graphs would normally go like this. I'll do it in red for you. These would be our solutions. But here is where our new solutions are now. The parabola is going like this. But the solutions are only where it's to the right. So as my graph continues, if I look like this, and my graph goes like this. So my solutions are in purple. Let's write our solutions in interval notation. Class, where is this coming from? Negative infinity. And it stops here at parentheses or bracket. Parentheses, because it's an open circle. Let's do this side. I'm starting here at this number, which is what? 4, and I'm going towards positive infinity. Yeah, that's an arrow going towards positive numbers. And notice how you don't have any solutions in the middle. We put a U for union. What does that stand for, class? Union. To remember the word union, I have this little trick that I found. That looks like what word? Looks like or. So to review, solve the quadratics. Use those points, those are your boundaries, test them. Once you test it, it'll tell you where your solutions are. Then you can put an interval notation and also highlight the graph. So down here, although this is a parabola, it's not where the solutions are.